Hey everybody, welcome back to Anthony's Horror More, and today I want to talk to you guys about Lucio Fulci's Zombie. I just watched this for the first time today, and I've been getting more and more into foreign horror over the last couple of years. I've watched Train to Busan, Parasite, Titan, Tenebrae, just a bunch. I'm sure I'm forgetting some too, but I've been trying to watch more and more. So I was like, well, we got to knock out Lucio Fulci's Zombie because, I hear people talking about this. A lot of people say it's their favorite zombie movie. I've heard that a lot. So I just thought I'd come on, share my thoughts on it, just talk about the movie a bit. If you haven't seen the movie, I'm probably going to get into spoilers and stuff. So, you know, I would go watch the film and then maybe come back if you feel like it. But yeah, just right off the bat, I'll just kind of, I think I was debating how should I do this? Is do you go through step by step the entire film, or should I just do the main bullet points of it? I guess I'll just assume it's people have seen this already, and I'm just very late to the party, so I'll just kind of talk about right off the bat. You got the boat in the water, the cops come investigate, zombie on board bites the cop's, fucking neck out, blood everywhere. Great looking practical effects when he bites the cop's neck out. The zombie itself looks good. This big old fat fucking zombie. Fast forward. You got this investigative journalist guy and this chick that's looking for her dad. Decide to get a boat and go to this island where her dad was at. And basically make the journey to go and try to find him. And so they get the boat. You get this really cool scene in the water where this super hot lady, Areta Gay, playing Susan Barrett, she takes her top off. You see her nice titties, that's always fun. And she decides to go scuba diving. So she goes under the water, she's looking around, all of a sudden, boom, there's this fucking shark. I think it's a bull shark that they drugged up. So, because it's a real shark, it's not CGI. So I think they drugged the shark up so it wouldn't attack her or anything. And so you get this cool little action set piece. The shark is trying to, attack her. The guys up top one of the guys up top has a gun, so it starts shooting at the shark. Shark hits the boat, kind of damages it, but she gets out of the water. But while she was in the water, before she gets away, she encounters a zombie down there. And that looks great too. You got this zombie just randomly chilling down there, grabs her arm, tries to get her, but she gets away. She gets back on the boat, and then the bull shark or whatever kind of shark starts to fight with the zombie, who's obviously just a guy in makeup. So it's holy shit, how did they shoot this? You got a guy in makeup, literally fighting with this shark in the water, and it's how many takes did it take to do that? How's this guy's able to hold his breath that long while he's down there? I mean, obviously there's different takes and stuff, but still, I mean, he's down in the water. There's a couple shots that last a long time. And it's what is this guy just holding his breath? I mean, how are they pulling this off? It's not like he's got an oxygen tank down there or any way of breathing or it's just a guy with zombie makeup on and he's just fighting the shark. I mean, it's so cool. It looked beautiful too, just beautiful shots of underwater, and you really get to see the shark and you see the zombie, and it's incredible. I mean, nowadays that would all be CGI, blue screen, obviously a CGI shark, it would all be digital and fake and everything. But the fact that they really did that, damn man, that looked amazing. So anyway, so that happens. The shark ends up biting the zombies. Fucking well, the zombie bites a piece of the shark, and then the shark rips the zombie's hand off, and then that was the end of the fight there. But I just thought that was really cool. So yeah, they eventually get to the island, and they talk to. What is that guy's name? Dr. Menard, played by Richard Johnson. They talk to Dr. Menard, and he kind of explains what's going on, and they're not really sure. The cool thing about this film is they're not really sure why. Is it voodoo? Is it a disease, like a virus or a disease or something? They don't really explain what's causing these zombies to become, to be like, these people to be resurrected as zombies and come back. And, that part's really interesting. I like that they kind of leave it ambiguous. You don't really know. Is it a virus? Um, is it voodoo? Is it a mix of both? You don't really know. So I thought that was really cool too. And I like the way the zombies look. It's weird too, because it's like all the zombies, their eyes are closed the whole time when they're kind of just wandering around. I guess they can kind of sense where you're at. Maybe they can smell you, or they can just sense you. Which almost makes me think that maybe it is a curse, because they're almost able to see without actually having their eyes open, and they're just going around attacking, killing more people in the village. More and more people are dying, and they're coming back, and you get these great, just so many great shots. You get Dr. Menard has a wife, and this lady was kind of annoying as fuck, I'll be honest. This was the one actress that I was like, oh my god, she was just really, it was really over the top. Or at least the voice actress, like dubbing over her or whatever, was very over the top, because obviously this is an Italian film, so like they're all being like dubbed over and shit. But yeah, god, I mean, it was just so like dramatic. Like there's this one scene where she's arguing with her husband, and she's like just just like it's so like over the top. I mean, it really is. She was kind of the most annoying character, played by Olga Karlatos. She was Mrs. Menard. So I was happy when she fucking got killed. You also get to see her naked, which is nice. But she's in the shower. She gets out of the shower, and the zombie comes, breaks into their house, and he just like takes her head, like her hair, pulls her into where there's this broken piece, like this splintered off piece of wood, because he broke the door down, this wooden door down. And there's this sharp piece of wood, and he just brings her head, like her eyeball, right into that like piece of wood, and just rips right through her eye. And then later on, those people that have come from the boat that were talking to the doctor, they go to see his wife, and they find her dead, and there's just all these zombies, and they're eating her guts and her face and her arm and all this shit, and her whole leg's gone. And it was just really just great looking practical effects and stuff. And so then they have another little fight, they're killing some more zombies off, and looks great. And then they run away, they hop in the truck, they end up hitting, they hit a zombie, and then they, spin out of control, and they hit a tree, and now the Jeep's all fucked up. And so now they gotta walk the rest of the way. And the investigative journalist, his name's Peter West. Peter like messed up his ankle, so that's bleeding all over. And then along the way, they end up losing that chick that went snorkeling, Susan Barrett. She ends up, man, she's got a great death scene too. The zombie just comes out, bites her in the neck, and there's just like blood just spurting out of her neck. I mean, it's just like crazy over the top gore. So she ends up getting killed, and there's another little skirmish, but that's when you actually see this zombie right here. And he just kind of is resurrected out of the ground, and then you get all the dirt falls off of his face, which is cool how they like film that with the camera, because it was like the dirt was coming like over the camera or whatever, almost like the camera was under the dirt, and then the dirt like falls off the lens or whatever. That's how it kind of looked like it was shot to me, but really cool. And then he's got the worms coming out of his eyes and everything. And but anyway, they end up blowing that zombie's fucking head off, killing him, and they kill some other zombies and stuff. And they eventually get back to Dr. Menard, who, and they, he's been trying to work on like a cure to solving this problem, because he doesn't believe in voodoo. He's a doctor, so he's like, there's got to be a scientific explanation for all this. And one of the guys that is on the island, that's like his assistant's been trying to tell him, like, his dad told him the story about these zombies, or people. I can't remember exactly what he said, but like something along like them coming back, from, I don't know if it was like from hell, or coming back, being, resurrected, or something that his father believed in, like these, I don't know. So like obviously the islander guy believes in the voodoo and these creatures coming back basically like from hell and being resurrected as like these zombies or whatever. And the scientist is like, no, it's a virus of some sort. We just got to be able to find a cure. So he's taking blood samples, and there's all these sick people and this, little like kind of makeshift hospital that they've got going on. And, they keep dying. So he has to keep putting them down. And he's got to shoot them in the head so they don't come back. And, a bunch of them die, and then obviously here come the guys that were running away from the zombies. The journalist and the lady looking for her dad, and then the guy that was driving the boat, and they end up coming, and the zombies are following them, and they gotta like barricade themselves in, and you get this great, they end up killing Dr. Menard, so obviously he's never able to find a cure or anything. They kill him, and they got to barricade themselves in. And that part kind of, that took me back to like, George A. Romero's like Night of the Living Dead. Like I started having like memories of that and stuff, because now they're barricading themselves in this, like I said, this makeshift hospital, and all the zombies are coming. It's nighttime now. And they make these like Mazel Tov cocktails, and they're like throwing them at the zombies. They're shooting them. And, they're just, they lose more and more people. They kill the one Islander guy who was, trying to say that it's all voodoo and all this. They kill the doctor's assistant, the nurse. They end up killing that one lady who was doing the snorkeling, who, got bit in the neck and the blood was spurting all over her. She turned into a zombie and came back and killed her friend slash lover, the guy that drives the boat. I'm not sure. They kind of made it out like maybe they had a relationship or something. So she comes back. He's not able to kill her. So she ends up biting him, of course, and they end up getting off the island. But then once they get back to the boat, the one guy dies who got bit by his, a boat mate, or a lover or whatever, a friend, that bite mark that he got bit on his arm and ended up spreading the infection or curse, whatever, whatever it is. And, he died. And on their way back to New York, they hear on the radio that, because they're thinking, okay, we'll get him back. Maybe we can, because he's the only evidence that they have that all of this crazy stuff was going on with the zombies, so they can study him or whatever. But they hear on the radio while they're, on the boat driving back to New York, they hear that New York's been overtaken by zombies. Because remember that cop from the beginning that got bit, in the neck, they took him back to the morgue and his arm started twitching. So, you assume that he came back to life, probably bit the guy, the morticians and all those guys. And then obviously it spread very fast. So they come back, so then it doesn't show them coming back into the city, but it shows this, it does like it shows like it cuts back to the city of New York, and you just see like people are driving out, trying to, probably get out of the city and everything. And there's just zombies walking across the bridge, and it's just a really cool shot. Actually, I think that might be, oh no, okay, I thought it was maybe on this cover. But yeah, it's like a really iconic image of the zombies walking across the bridge. There's actually another lenticular that has that shot, where, all the zombies are walking. They've got great, beautiful effects, practical effects, makeup, all these makeup effects and everything. They look fantastic, and they're slowly kind of walking across the bridge. And like I said, you just see all the cars going by, and people trying to get out, and and obviously like that's how it all ends. And I believe there's sequels to this, so I might have to check those out. And maybe now it's like a dystopian future or something. I mean, I don't know. I'm not sure where they go from there, or maybe they're just trying to survive. Maybe there's just a few survivors. Who knows? I don't know. Those are always fun to watch. It's always fun to like see it in like segments, kind of like you got Night of the Living Dead, then Dawn, you got Night of the Living Dead, then Dawn of the Dead, then Day of the Dead, and you kind of see the progression throughout, and you start to see like civilizations just deteriorating and breaking down. And You know, it's kind of interesting to watch the movies play out like that, like the beginning of the pandemic to like the end of it, you know, and you see civilization just kind of crumble slowly, and kind of like Walking Dead style and all that. But yeah, overall, I thought it was a really great movie. The score was also really good. I enjoyed that score. It definitely was very unsettling. Definitely, creeped into you. And I'm trying to think if I'm forgetting anything. Doing these reviews is always tough. I try not to ramble on too much. I'm just trying to give you kind of the bullet points and everything. But overall, no, I really enjoyed the movie. The movie. I think most of the actors did a good job, except for that guy's wife. Man, I'll be honest, Mrs. Menard, Jesus, that like voiceover actress or whatever was just it was so over the top. I mean, that was my only kind of like nitpick little flaw. She's not really in the movie that much, but she's got a great death scene. But no, just the style of it. It's very that's what I wanted to talk about. It's very dirty and grimy looking. Like it's very it feels almost real. Like if a zombie apocalypse did happen, that's what it seemed like it would be like. Because they show these people before it while they're dying, and there's like, they got like pus on them and blood and spit up, throw up and all that. And they look like right before they're about to die, they showed them in the hospital, and it's just really, really gross. It's really, really gross. And you're like, God, this is probably what it really would look like. And then when they come back, it's the same thing. They look very like deteriorated, but real though. It almost feels like, you can see their skin kind of hanging as blood, pus and shit and bugs coming out and stuff. It has that very gritty feel to it. So and just the color palettes and everything that they chose to use too while they were on the island, especially, there's just like this sense of dread the entire time you're there. And like I said, the score helps a lot with that. But yeah, it feels real. I mean, it does. I think that's why so many people talk about Fulci's Zombie, because it just has that very like, because when you watch Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead, Day of the Dead, The Walking Dead, all of these type of, there's this sense of like, the zombies look great in most of those. Not so much in Romero's Dawn of the Dead. They kind of look a little whatever, but they just got that makeup on. It doesn't look that great. That's the one thing about Dawn of the Dead, is the zombies really don't look that good. But there's always this sense of like, it's real, but it's not. You can kind of, it's like, yeah, or sometimes they'll use, like in The Walking Dead's case, they would use like CGI and stuff. Sometimes they would use it, like when they're killing the zombies, and it would kind of take you out of it a little bit. Like there's that sense that it's like, okay, this doesn't really feel totally real. But with Fulci's Zombie, it does feel a lot more real. So I think that adds to the effect a lot more. But I still, it's so interesting, because I feel like, I mean, there's no, because I've watched Walking Dead, and obviously Walking Dead's had its ups and downs. Kind of getting away from zombie for a second, but I was just gonna say, The Walking Dead really does owe a lot to these movies, to Zombie and Dawn of the Dead, Day of the Dead, Night of the Living Dead. I mean, it really does, because when you watch Walking Dead, you notice a lot of similarities to these movies. It's crazy. Like, you notice a lot of similarities. So, yeah, you definitely don't get Walking Dead without all of these. So definitely go, if you haven't seen any of Romero's films, or Lucio Fulci's films, or, any of those, definitely go check them out. If you're a big Walking Dead fan, if you like the zombie genre and all that kind of stuff. But I'm trying to, I think that's about it, guys. Yeah, I talked about, it's only an hour and a half, so it goes by pretty fast. It's very gritty, dark, bloody, great practical effects, amazing score, great directing. Yeah, just yeah, pretty good acting overall too. You know, sometimes you got to get a little like kind of like how you have to get acclimated to the water, you know, when it's cold, and then you kind of settle in. You kind of got to get used to like the, you know, dubbing over the voices and some of that stuff, you know, because they're, they're speaking Italian. Or I don't know how it is. I don't know if they're because it's weird when they mouth the words. It looks like they're speaking English, but maybe they just have like an Italian accent, so that's why they dub over them. I'm not quite sure, you know, but that's kind of what it seems like to me because it looks like the words that they're saying are English, you know, but they're still being like dubbed over. So I don't know, maybe they're trying to cover up the accent or, you know, I don't know. But it takes you a minute to kind of get acclimated to that. But then once you get used to it, then you can settle in and really enjoy the film and all that. So yeah, overall, guys, great movie. Definitely go check it out. And thank you so much for watching the review. You know, please leave a like, subscribe, you know, all that shit. You know, leave me a comment down below. Let me know what your favorite zombie film is. And if you've seen, Zombie before, what you think of it. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace out.